Ahoy there, listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Captain's Horror Meltdown. My name is Cammy, and I'll be your captain on this journey, and I'm joined at my side. Well, it's not really a festive mission, it's not really a side mission, it's a New Year mission.
Yes.
I'm just joined by John.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
New Year.
My comrade in arms, and we're sitting by the fire in the lounge, the officers' lounge on the ship.
Excellent.
We're just going to have quite a short chat. This won't be a long episode. We're just going to have a short chat about a brief summing up, I would say, of 2019 and a brief look forward to 2020.
It will be a very brief look back at 2019 because that was like 3 days ago now, 2019, and I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty slim. Well, I've made some notes to get. Well, I'll actually, just before we go in, we'll obviously try and keep any bullshit to a minimum. But it just been the festive period, lots of booze, lots of food. Present wise, did you get anything horror related at all?
My mum was around the last couple of days.
Right, okay, that's pretty scary.
Yep.
I had both sets of grandparents at our house for Christmas.
At a oneer.
Quite scary. Yep.
There you go. That's double the terror.
Yeah.
I don't think I got anything horror related. I'm going to be honest. I didn't request any films. You know what? I don't even remember what I got, to be honest.
Yeah, but pants, socks.
I got socks from both my mum and Rachel's mum.
Yeah.
So I've got socks for 2020.
Nice, happy days.
I got the only thing I really remember sitting next to me is my little set of Marillion Lego.
That's right. That was cool.
I quite enjoy that. But apart from that, nothing else of note.
No,
yourself?
No, nothing horror related really. I did get a UHD of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
Which might come in handy for if we revive our face punching Tarantino.
Well, indeed, the release of
podcast
of Kevin Smith's film and disc is almost upon us.
Yes, exactly. So we'll be doing that soon.
Yep.
And aside from that, I got the BBC amazing mid-80s BBC drama called Edge of Darkness, which was remade as a film quite recently with Mel Gibson actually.
Yeah.
The BBC have gone back there. It's back when the BBC shot all their drama on film. They've gone back and they've remastered it for Blu-ray.
Wow.
So I got that.
Nice.
It's tremendous. I'd highly recommend it to anybody. It's good.
Excellent.
So it's peak nuclear sort of Cold War nuclear fear UK like banter. It's great.
Absolute laugh a minute then.
Oh yeah, it's all right. It's absolutely right. And well, aside from that, the only thing I'd like to get in is I'd like to thank a friend of the podcast, Doc, for putting us on to the sprout curry that he told us about, because we have the sprout curry cooking just now.
Oh dear.
And it will be I didn't dare eat it before recording.
No.
For the risk of severe wind.
I would imagine there'll be a lot of time spent on the poop deck after that one.
There will be. We're expecting a stormy night and a lot of time on the poop deck. Right. So, well, I think as you've already mentioned,
there's one thing I'll say actually. Which
what's that?
It's just whenever if I go on a drive, I'll probably listen to one of our rough recording of our podcast. I don't really edit it, so I just basically listen through it to make sure. Well, usually, if I didn't say anything absolutely horrendous.
Right, okay, yeah.
But it never dawned on me. I've never said hello to friend of the podcast, Billy, as yet. So,
Friend of the podcast, Billy. Well, hello, friend of the podcast, Billy.
I would like to wish Billy in particular a Happy New Year, and thank you for your continued listenership.
Excellent.
And all the best for this futuristic year of 2020.
Oh, well, it is. We are now truly in the future, aren't we?
I really feel I'm on the cusp of a Blade Runner sort of thing going on now, because it's 2020 or 2020 something seems to be like a marker for me of when sci-fi films thought things we're going to get flying cars by that sort of time.
Well, Blade Runner was 2019, wasn't it?
Well, there you go. So I mean,
so we're already past the Blade Runner date. It was like November 2019 or something.
Unless there's a country that we don't know about where it is like that.
Oh, there might be. Who knows?
Yeah. Uncharted.
Yeah, an uncharted country that's managed to remain so technologically advanced but remain completely hidden.
Oh.
But they probably decided to remain hidden, actually.
Why wouldn't you? With this shitstorm that's going on around them.
Totally.
That's a plot for a film right there. Anyway.
Yeah, totally. It does feel like we are suddenly... We're now beyond... Like, it felt like there was quite a lot of... sort of sci-fi was set in the sort of 20-teens or something like that, or or it'd be like post-apocalyptic 2019. We're actually beyond that now. We're into just like proper future territory.
Uncharted territory here, I think.
Yeah. Let's try and think back. I will refresh your memory by I've split 2019 into a couple of categories for me.
All right.
In fact, 3 categories.
Oh, right.
I split it into best of 2019.
Yeah.
Didn't rate, as in things that I didn't particularly like.
Uh-huh.
And didn't see.
Okay.
The biggest list is didn't see.
Well, you can't watch everything, can you?
So,
okay, what didn't you see? I'll see if I saw any of them.
Right,
Probably
what
not,
didn't I see? I didn't see Doctor Sleep.
No, I've not seen that yet.
So that's a sequel to The Shining.
Yeah, I'm planning to wait until that crops up on disc or something somewhere.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'll wait till disc. I might wait till it comes up on something streaming. I'm going to make probably a terrible admission here and say I'm not a big fan of The Shining. I've seen it many times. I thought I liked it when I was a teenager, but I think last time I watched it, I was like, it's actually pretty boring.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Not that I necessarily agree, but I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I would maybe. I think maybe I might have just been in a bad mood when I saw it. I mean, it's obviously beautifully shot. It's got some cool stuff in it, but I remember just being like, Jesus. Actually, talking about being bored in films, one of my resolutions is to put my phone in another room when I'm watching a film.
Okay.
So I'm not distracted. Anyway,
that's a good shout.
Next on my list was Zombieland Double Tap.
Yep. I think I might have mentioned this in the podcast before, but when I saw the trailer in the cinema, I was like, "Ooh, I don't think that's hitting any buttons for me at all."
You didn't fancy it at all. Friends of the podcast, Mitch, certainly gave it a 1 thumbs up, I think, or at least certainly a couple of thumbs across. He said it was worth going to see. Annabelle Comes Home. Didn't see that.
I've not seen any of the other ones, so it seemed a bit mad to go and go straight in
Same
there.
Here. Child's Play remake.
Did see that.
Reboot.
Well, I suppose we talked about that, didn't we? Even though you hadn't seen it. Had
we
Dave
did.
on that episode.
Yep. So I missed out that. Satanic Panic.
Is that a film or just something you feel?
It's a film. It's actually quite fun. I think it might be on Netflix for some reason.
Satanic Panic.
Yeah, sounds quite good though, doesn't it?
I mean, off the cuff, absolutely, but it does sound a little bit like a death metal band.
It does, yeah, totally. And Brightburn, which was the sort of horror superhero film.
Yeah, I was quite hyped to go and see that because the trailer looked great, and then it got pretty universally shit reviews. I've been put off it, even though that kind of flies in the face of what I usually feel about films. I don't really care. I mean, usually I don't look at reviews before I go and see it, but then I did to this one, and it sort of put me off. So I thought, that's going to be another. That might be out on disc now, is it? It is.
I think it is. Yeah, it definitely is. Yep.
Okay.
So maybe I'll check that out now. It's on disc. Then my didn't rate. 2 films we talked about actually.
Right.
It 2.
Okay.
And Pet Sematary. I'm not saying I didn't rate them entirely. I'm not saying they were like awful films. I can't imagine ever watching either of them ever again.
Yeah, that's probably a fair comment. I think I enjoyed it too when I watched it. But at I think at the same time, with anything these days, anything of that length, I would probably struggle to go back to again just on a whim. Yeah, I think it would have to be a pretty fucking. Yeah, we would have to. I think I know what's going to be coming up in your next list, and I think it would have to be like a Midsummer style event for me to go back to.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's it. Well, you've hit me on the head there. It's actually and these are in no order. I've got 5. I've put down a little 5 things that came to mind for me. As my favourites of 2019, and Midsummer. They're not in any order, but I'd say Midsummer is definitely top for me.
Yep,
I fucking love that film.
Yeah, it was that really. Yeah, that delivered everything I hoped it would, and a bit more, I would say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, I'd be hard pushed to. Certainly, anything I saw in the cinema, I'd be hard pushed to better that.
Yeah. I quite liked Crawl.
Crawl, I really loved. Yeah, that was a little. Well, that was interesting because kind of looking at the various lists of stuff that are coming up this year. Crawl was not on any of the lists that I looked at when we did our episode for what's coming up in 2019.
No, it wasn't at all. No, it came out of nowhere for us.
Yeah, as same with another film I think you might mention soon. Possibly. Let's find out.
Ready or Not?
Yeah, that's the one.
Hey!
Exactly the one. That also did not come up on any list. Only really heard any chat about it literally 3-4 months before it came out, I think. So that one was
shit,
kind
man.
of...
I was so my pal Phelan over in Madrid, who is a sort of a bona fide cineast, and loves horror, loves all films, but is he does like a good horror film now and again. I mentioned it to him the other day in my little list of films that I rated in the year, and he'd never fucking heard of it.
Oh, right. Wow.
I mean, to be fair, there's a good chance it wasn't called Ready or Not in Spain.
Yeah. I was about to do something massively racist, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to attempt that.
No, please don't. Please do not. Now, my after Ready or Not, Ready or Not came out of nowhere for me actually as well.
Yeah, I remember seeing a trailer for it. I think probably going to see one of the other films we did a side mission on. I was like, oh, that. I think maybe I might have messaged you immediately saying, check this out.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was something I went to see with Hamish, and I was just like, oh, that looks sweet. And so it turned out to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other films we got in here, now one of them's actually... So one of them's not really a horror film. Another one, it kind of straddles my didn't rate and my best of.
Right.
So one of them's Us.
Uh-huh.
Which... I did enjoy, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to enjoy it, and I was expecting more from it.
Mm-hmm. I think that was we were pretty much surmising at the time.
That was, and another one was Lords of Chaos, which isn't really a horror film.
Oh, right. No, that's a fair shout.
It's got some pretty wild shit in it, though. And I did thoroughly enjoy that, and I was very sad that it was sold out in Arrow's massive
sale of everything.
Sale.
Yeah, it'll come back.
Of course it'll come back. Love Arrow to bits, but these days I'm not going to go and spunk 18 quid on a Blu-ray when I can wait for the sale and get it for $7.50.
Yeah, totally madness otherwise.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I mean did any of that arouse any recollections in you at all?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, as I was kind of commenting along with it, I mean, I can't really argue with much of that. The top list is certainly the stuff I went to see in the cinema. The thing is, I've probably watched a rake of stuff in streaming and then just completely forgotten what it was.
Oh, that's the thing. I mean, you should actually start.
I should do I should do the Letterboxd. I should do. Oh, well, I tell you what, that's my New Year's resolution. And it's a hefty one. That make a note of the films you've watched, John. What a dedication that is.
That's really tricky, isn't it? Really tricky.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, it's always fun.
To be fair, I've not managed it for 42 years, so it might keep it tricky.
Well, the fun thing I did was when I looked over my last year's viewing, there's two very obvious points when our own little Meltdown Festival was happening.
Right, yeah.
And I remember all of the films being on, but I don't remember any of the films, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's understandable. Certainly the second Meltdown event got boozy awfully quick on the Saturday.
Oh, aye, totally.
Yeah, it really dipped into bullshit.
It did. Which we're going to resolve.
Yes.
Well, we've got a sort of classics meltdown festival coming up, really. Thanks to Stevie's friends of podcast, Stevie. Oh, Stevie doesn't listen to podcasts.
Did draw a picture for us, though, so there you go.
We do send him it on audio tape. The podcast. Yeah, based on the picture he drew. But so that'd be fun. Maybe we should do a little episode about that. That might be fun.
Yeah, I think we were going to do an episode about the last meltdown, but that just kind of got lost in the wayside. But I think everyone's just too busy.
We always end up just getting too blittered, really. Now, looking at so we jump into 2020. We both had a little look over the list. One thing I will say, do you know what I mean? Fuck knows if we've actually got any listeners out there at all, or whether it's just you and me rambling to each other,
or even it might even just be you. You might just be doing my voice. I might not exist. You
don't. I'm actually a very talented voice artist, and this is it's actually me. I'm sort of demented, and I sit in my house. This is an ongoing audition for a role that doesn't exist.
You could at least wear some clothes, though. I mean,
no. God, well, you could at least wear some clothes.
Well, why? If you got it, flaunt it. You know what I'm saying?
What I will say is that the first 3 films that I've got written down on my coming in 2020 list, have all been out in America and elsewhere already.
Yep.
So that's something we've got to watch out for. If you're listening to this and you're irate because we're talking about films that came out in 2019, why don't you just get in touch with us and tell us you're irate?
Yeah, at least we know someone was listening at that point.
Just tell us we're a bunch of fuds. And B, well, yeah, you probably want to look out for yourself in terms of your mental health if you're getting irate at 2 fucking idiots from Scotland.
Get out more.
Yeah, definitely get out more.
Yeah, so, visit your family and stuff. No,
exactly.
Don't do that, maybe.
Yeah. So I don't know how we should do this. We just
ramble in, man.
We just ramble in.
What are these 3 you've got?
So the 3 that are already out elsewhere, one of which we've actually said because it was a recommendation from a listener. Big shout out to Bobo Balti out there. Is the
who the fuck is Bobo Balti? Who's that?
Well, it's from the Curry Club days.
Of course, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
discussion for another time.
So the first 3 on my list that have been out elsewhere and have been highly rated elsewhere are The Lighthouse, Bliss, and Parasite. Now, Bliss was recommended by Bobo, and we're actually going to cover it when it comes out over here in the UK.
Right. So when's that? Well, what? Hang on. So it's not out here.
No.
But his follow-up is coming out on February the 14th.
Classic.
It's called VFW. Is that real? What's the director? Joe Bagels.
Let me have a look and see.
Follows up the blood-soaked Bliss with this equally splatterific film by Fangoria.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Group of war veterans must defend their local
Joe Bagos. Yeah.
Group of war veterans must defend their local. What is this? VFW post against a deranged drug dealer and his relentless army of punk mutants.
Nice. Sounds good.
What the fuck is a VFW post? Veteran. Something. Well, obviously, V must be a veteran if it's war veterans. But anyway, doesn't matter. I'm sure someone can fucking be irate about that as well. I don't know what that means. So that's interesting.
Comes out in Eureka over here on Blu-ray. I don't think it had the cinema release at all, Bliss. It comes straight out onto Blu-ray. And yeah, looks utterly demented.
We should cover that then.
Yeah, so we'll be covering that. Paul, when he got in touch, said that he thought it would completely tick our box.
Excellent.
And it would fit right in there. So
cool.
So we're definitely gonna cover that.
I wonder when we'll get to see VFW, like 2022 or something.
Oh yeah, quite possibly. God. Who knows? So that's interesting to see that. I mean, it's weird that we're like, films are coming out so late over here for us.
I think I suppose it depends what it is. Obviously, this is quite a bit of a under the radar, low budget number, so that can't happen. It just kind of gets held back in various territories until someone picks it up, I guess.
Yeah, totally. Hold on a second. Well, I'm just looking here and see. Yeah, it comes out. So Bliss comes out over here on the 10th of February.
Right.
It's $11.99 brand new from the distributor.
All right. Oh well. Let's give the distributor some cash then.
Yeah, totally. I think we should. We'll both be picking it up. It's wild film.
Cool.
So yeah, we'll look forward to that, and we'll look forward to doing a little to covering that.
I'm already excited.
As a listener recommendation.
Already excited.
Which we would like more of, please.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, looking forward to that.
If you could ever find out how to get in touch with us, we'll let you know.
Yeah, totally. The Lighthouse. Now, The Lighthouse is the sort of. Is the follow-up film by the guy that did The Witch.
All right.
Did you ever watch it? You watched The Witch?
I did. Yes, I have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's his follow-up film, which is apparently fantastic. Basically a two-hander, two chaps in a lighthouse, and
the guys from Chewing the Fat.
Exactly. It's basically a rip-off of Chewing the Fat.
Oh, I love that. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Which is good. So yeah, Robert Eggers, I'm very, very excited to see what the crack is with him, and it's Willem Dafoe is your main man in there. So
I don't think I've seen any of his stuff for a while.
Yeah, so black and white. Let's see what it says. Two lighthouse keepers try to maintain their sanity while living on a remote and mysterious New England island in the 1890s.
Wow, I mean, it sounds terrible, but
yeah, but it could be fucking tremendous.
Okay, I'll reserve judgment.
And then Parasite, which is the South Korean film.
Okay.
Which people have been absolutely raving about as well by Bong Joon-ho.
Good pronunciation.
God, he probably didn't like it if he heard me saying that. Who directed Snowpiercer, Okja, The Host.
Yep. Good lad.
Loads of other films that we've not actually had over here. So yeah, looking forward to Parasite. It's apparently very, very inventive and creative. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Cool. Well, that's some good new stuff coming, like properly new.
Yeah, I mean that all three of those have been released elsewhere already, but they're just coming new to us. And then next on my list is one that I think we're probably we can get a little bit of chatting about. Which and also a very interesting release situation. I think it's been released elsewhere already as well. As Daniel Isn't Real, which is from the makers of Mandy, I believe.
Oh, is it?
Produced by Spectrevision, who we are fans of, and weirdly, so it comes out in the cinema in the UK on the 7th of February. It comes out in Blu-ray on the 10th of February.
Okay, so that's going to be a limited cinema run then, I would presume.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. And it's been issued by Arrow Films, distributed by Arrow. Okay. So for the cinema as well. So there you go.
Well, we might have to make a little list of what we need to go and see after this.
Oh yeah, I think we will. Well, thankfully I've actually written all of this down.
Awesome. Jesus, really?
Yep.
That's massively unlikely. Well done.
I know. Unbelievable.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, looking forward to Daniel Isn't Real. Looks quite bonkers from the trailer. I have watched the trailer for that one.
I've just got there's also a film called Come to Daddy, which since you mentioned Spectrevision, is fronted by Elijah Wood. So I wonder if that's from his own fair production company.
Oh yes, I'd imagine so. Yeah. Oh man, the guy
who's technically a horror film, but more of a kind of creepy film. But.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Daniel Isn't Real has someone in it called Patrick Schwarzenegger. Think he's related?
No, really. The love child of Patrick Swayze and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
True.
Fuck, I can't wait to see this guy.
He actually is Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. There you go.
Oh, is he? Oh, wow. Okay.
Holy shit.
Interest peaked. Do you know what he looks like? Have you seen him?
Just looks like a normal lad.
Just a run-of-the-mill bloke.
He actually quite looks like the kid in Terminator 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jesus, that could be a bit freaky.
God, he was born in 1993. When did Terminator 2 come out?
Yeah, not quite. But,
yeah. So, so looking forward to Daniel's renewal for definite. Yeah, it looks bonkers. A troubled college freshman, Luke, suffers a violent family trauma and resurrects his childhood imaginary friend Daniel to help him cope. So there you go.
Okay, cool.
And you'll be pleased to hear, John, 96 minutes for that one.
Oh, there you go.
Absolute stoter. Bliss is short as well.
I for some reason, I got the impression it might be.
Yeah. Low budget as fuck. Let's see what we're talking about for Bliss. Oh, my internet has been a little bit chuggy today. A little bit chuggy. 80 minutes for Bliss. 80 minutes.
Oh, straight on, bang, smack, 80.
Just 1 minute over the feature film minimum requirement.
14-minute credits. Oh, tremendous.
Happy days. Superb. So next up on my list was Antlers.
Yeah, I think that's got promise. I would have thought.
That's got definite promise. It's Del Toro, something to do with Del Toro, that one, I think. But he probably produced it or something like that.
Seems to produce quite a lot of things. Yeah, he has produced it. Yep.
I had a look at the trailer for that, and it looks pretty wigged out.
Well, it's a fucking terrifying still in front of me, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, the thing that's quite interesting, I think, about that is that Scott Cooper, the director, has seems to have he's not done it. Certainly not done any horror stuff before this. Right. He's been keeping it quite serious. He did Black Mass and Hostiles. Okay. Interested to see what happens with that one. Certainly, the trailer looks great.
Can I take a guess at its running time?
Yes.
Do you know its running time?
No.
Ah, damn. I think it's going to be 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, man. Right, okay, well, let's make a note of that. I'm making a report back on that when we see the cinema. 2 hours, 15 minutes. Next up on my list was Antebellum.
Literally just under Antlers in my little list here.
Yep. Must be the alphabetical nature of it all.
Unfortunately not, because then it goes to Untitled Saw sequel.
Oh, wow. There you go. Antebellum, I think, certainly piqued my fancy. It seems to be a bit of time travelling. Stars Janelle Monáe, who I love Janelle Monáe. I think she's absolutely amazing in terms of music. You're an old Prince fan, aren't you? She's a sort of Prince protege.
Okay. Yeah, I like a bit of Prince.
Yeah, she's like a sort of little, punchy little female Prince. She's dynamite. And she's a bit of a badass. And I think this is probably her first proper film anyway. And cool. Yeah, and very interesting premise. It seems to be an author who gets transported back in time to the slavery days. With horrifying consequences.
Yeah, by the producers of Get Out and Us. So okay.
Well, there you go. Yeah, nice. Well, talking about Get Out and Us, Candyman reboot.
Yeah, I think we could probably go into a little section here. We've covered some nice original sounding stuff. What immediately struck me from the first list that I saw until I kind of clocked this list is the first 2 or 3 lists I looked at. It was like, holy shit, this is like remake, sequel, reboot city this year. First up we have Candyman. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, so I mean, I don't doubt that we're going to come round to Candyman, the original, at some point.
Yeah,
on the podcast.
Yeah, we could double bill that shit maybe.
Oh man, that'd be quite exciting.
Yeah.
I remember loving Candyman, the original. I've not seen it for a long, long time.
The last time I saw it was actually Dead by Dawn, I think.
I reckon that I haven't seen it since VHS.
Right. Well, I've seen it in the cinema.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, well, not only that, but you've hung out with Tony Todd.
Yep,
Candyman himself.
Yeah, he was a big lad.
Big laddie. Big laddie.
An absolute gent. Absolutely lovely chap. But yeah, they were showing Candyman when he was there, and also his newest film at the time, which I forget the name of, but you must watch it. It's fucking insanity. I'm going to go and figure out what it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me just try and find it. You can tell me. Yeah, I mean, seems like an odd choice to me of a thing to redo.
Of a film to reboot. I guess so, but I guess Tony Todd's given it his blessing, hasn't he?
Well, he's in
fully.
it.
Not only is he in it, but I mean, he said to Jordan Peele, I think Jordan Peele approached him about it, didn't he?
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. No.
So I wanted to approach it as a sort of horror with race elements in it that, he really wanted to take a deep dive into and explore, the world of Candyman. So,
okay.
I mean, God, we said it in the last one. I don't object to remakes in principle.
Yeah.
And we're also talking, it's a long time since the original Candyman came out.
That's why I'm questioning it. It's like, wow, it's like a strange decision. I guess they're going to do, if Jordan Peele's on board with it, then I guess they're going to do something definitely interesting with it at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be, exactly. And they're going to be going for a completely different audience as well. Really, I mean, they're going to be targeting people that don't know the original Candyman.
Yeah. I found it. Sorry, Shadow Dead Riot.
Shadow Dead Riot.
Oh man, this is wow. No, what? How long ago was that? You're having a laugh, right? That shit came out in 2006.
Shit.
So presuming Dead by Dawn showed in 2006, say 2007. So it's been 13 years, say, since I saw Candyman now.
Shit, man. Well, I mean, Shadow Dead Riot looks absolutely fucking wild, man.
It's insanity. It's really weird. The film is it's fucking bonkers. So basically, they got Tony Todd didn't know what was going on in the film because it's great. He was like totally forthright about it, and it played like the sort of midnight. New York cinema scene, like constantly for like a year or whatever. And so it's like a sort of trashy, it's just madness. It's stupid as well. But Tony Todd wasn't really exposed to any of the other film, all of his scenes, and they got him to play it completely deadly serious.
Right.
So you've got him in all these scenes that are like he is giving it full Tony Todd serious as fuck, and the rest of the film is absolutely daft. So you've got this insane juxtaposition of what's going on. It's very
it looks wild, man.
To be honest, man, if I can find a Blu-ray of that, I will buy it. It is completely off the wall mad.
I'm gonna have to try and discover that as well. It just sounds bonkers.
If we can find that, we should try and tell you what. If we do Candyman, we'll link onto that.
Evil voodoo practicing serial killer Shadow gets executed for murdering pregnant women. 20 years later, the prison Shadow was put to death at has been turned into an experimental women's penitentiary.
Mm-hmm.
Tough and fiercely autonomous new inmate Solitaire has some kind of link with Shadow. When Shadow and his lethal, shambling zombie minions are resurrected, it's up to Solitaire to stop them.
Yeah. It's women's prison, so you can imagine there's a lot of unnecessary okay. And and it's played like a total grindhouse sleaze-a-thon, and then you've got Tony Todd bringing full Tony Todd to his scenes. You're like, this is insanity.
Shit, man. Well, looking forward to checking out.
See if I can find him. Yes, I mean, when I heard Tony Todd was going to be back in it, I was like, well, okay. Will he be Candyman? I don't know.
Oh, he's going to be Candyman, doesn't he?
I don't know. Or
does he?
It only says he's in it. It doesn't really give much away as to what he's doing from the thing.
The main actor that's going to be in it, or the sort of like the headline actor certainly on the letterbox listing, is the chap that's just been in. So what's he called? Yahya Abdul Mateen II. He's just been in the new TV series of Watchmen, and he is a fucking badass.
Okay, cool.
A total badass. So yeah, maybe it'll be him. Who knows?
Well, high hopes for that one. What else do we have? We have yet another reboot of The Grudge.
Another reboot of The Grudge, I know. I saw that. And is there a reason to reboot The Grudge? No.
Who cares,
It's already been turned into an American version of The Grudge. So the original version of The Grudge came out in, the early 2000s, maybe.
Fucking ages ago, man. I mean, it seems like a long time ago.
Yeah. And then it was remade in the US. So yeah, it came out in 2002 originally. Then it was remade in the US in 2004 by the original director, but with an American crew in English.
Right. Yeah.
With Sam Raimi producing, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, it sounds about.
And it is now getting remade again. Produced again by Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi, yep.
But with a different director now. But I don't really get what's going on here.
I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest. That will be waiting until Netflix or similar for me, I would imagine.
Yeah, good comment on the Letterboxd. I get people using review, even though it's not yet, people using the reviews function to leave some comments here. And there's a good comment here. Was the last remake not white enough?
Jesus. Oh,
yeah.
dear me.
I mean, really, yeah. I mean, this is one that I'll be taking a swerve past.
Yep. The Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man, yeah, shit. Which actually,
this actually sounds like it might be interesting.
I am quite interested in. So, yeah, the whole Universal Studios taking back control of their classic monsters has just sort of gone up in flames, really, with the sort of failure of, the Mummy and stuff, hasn't it, really? And they've just given up on that. And apparently what they did is they just gave the rights to all those films to Blumhouse.
All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a Blumhouse production, so it'll be pretty low budget, and also probably, quite interesting, given that it's been given to Blumhouse.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the little story behind it, it does sound like a properly different take on it. So I'll probably put my hands up and say I'd be interested in going to see that.
Yeah, I'd definitely be up for seeing it. He directed by Lee Wannell, who is the chap that directed Upgrade, which
yes, correct,
was actually the end of 2018 technically, but yeah, which was fantastic.
That was a good one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So definitely up for that. Here we go. Little synopsis here. The film follows Celia, who receives news of her abusive ex-boyfriend's suicide. She begins to rebuild her life for the better. However, her sense of reality is put into question when she begins to suspect her deceased lover is not actually dead.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
What else have I got in the old remake situation? There's a few that can be asked. Was the new Halloween film coming out, obviously? Well,
new Halloween, was it got Halloween Kills?
I think, is that like a sequel to the one that just came out last year or something?
I think it is. I'm utterly confused by what's going on with this film. So I didn't see the last one, and I don't know, I might go and see it. I think it's been shot back to back with another one as well.
Oh, really? Jeez, okay.
So there's two of those coming out, and then there's Saw's getting rebooted.
Yes, more Saw action
by Chris Tucker, apparently.
Yep, written by Chris Tucker? I think he's actually also in it.
Insanity! I can't even imagine it.
Yep.
There's some word about, and I haven't found out a lot of information about this, but apparently there's a new Friday the 13th reboot as well.
Oh, really? Because the last one was a big pile of balls.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. Although there's some chat that might be for next. Oh no! In fact, 1980. Yeah, it's the 40 year anniversary of the first Friday the 13th. So I think that's why I did that.
That makes
sense. Yeah, I mean, lots of pretty uninspiring reboots. Coming up.
Godzilla vs Kong is another one.
That'd be fun.
I don't know. I quite like Big Beasts, so you never know. You never can tell. What is there? I'm sure there's another. Oh yeah, God. Sequels to things I've never even heard of, to be honest. Oh man, yeah. Well, so there's a fair whack, and technically, actually, Colour Out of Space comes out.
Yes, I think Colour Out of Space has been released in America already. It comes out here on the 28th of February, actually. In the next month.
I've got January here. Oh well.
Have you? Oh, and I will definitely be trying to see that in cinema, and we'll definitely be having to do a side mission on that, I think.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. no two ways about it.
The glorious return, from what I believe anyway, from reading other reviews, of Richard Stanley. Who was very unfairly ejected from the Hollywood film system.
Yes.
And we've missed out on many years of potentially excellent work by him, I believe, because of the fucked up nature of the Hollywood system.
Yep. So I'll be interested to see what happens with that. As I say, it's got all the elements for a good one.
Yeah.
So let's what else was I looking forward to? A new Edgar Wright film. Always interesting.
Yes.
Last Night in Soho.
Yes. Last Night in Soho. I am looking forward to that as well. Apparently, Edgar Wright's first non-comedy film.
Yep, first kind of proper straight up
horror.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see if he actually manages to pull it off without actually getting a bit of a laugh in here and there. Do you know what I mean?
I can't imagine it being completely laugh free though. That could make it more effective if it was, I guess. But yeah, it seems odd to think that it might be completely free of any joviality. so yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it because I really, I've loved him since the days of Spaced. So
totally, and it's a horror film with time traveling.
Yeah. And
so
what's not like about that?
I mean, that's two films. That's him and Antebellum, both featuring a bit of time traveling. So
time travel city. Let's get involved.
Yeah, totally, let's do it. Let's get involved with that.
What we were talking about before we came on. Oh, yeah, Boys in the Wood.
Boys in the Wood.
You've got some chat about this.
Well, yeah, particularly delicious beer that I just took a sip of there. Really superb. Boys in the Wood was actually shot in, I think it was actually 2 summers ago now.
All right.
2 autumns ago, maybe, up here in Scotland. And I at the time heard about it from a pal of mine who's a producer, and he was telling me very excitedly about the script for this film that was about to get made, Boys in the Wood, which was so good in script form that he was one of several producers fighting to try and get the rights to produce it up here. Super low budget, but it sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. And sort of horror comedy, a bunch of young Neds. How do you explain that if you're not in Scotland? Young team.
Hooligans. A bunch of social delinquents.
Yes. Juvenile delinquents. out on a hike to teach them some discipline, I guess. They end up being hunted by some crazed poshos, I believe.
Excellent.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Mixes quite a lot of fun genres that sort of tick a lot of boxes. I definitely was getting sort of redneck sort of Deliverance vibe thing going on as well, though, but in Scotland, so with just sort of generally crazy farmers, etc. So
we should mention that Eddie Izzard is the
Eddie Izzard
is this guy stalking them.
Yeah.
Which, whenever I hear any comedian named in a film, it always fills me with a little bit of fear. Especially I mean, fair enough, it's a comedy, so could work, but always a little bit worrying for me. Always a little bit worrying.
Yeah, bunch of lads out to doing their the Duke of Edinburgh Award or whatever it's called over here. So sort of outward bound sort of course for youngsters. So should be a fun one to keep an eye out for. Verging on, I don't think it's been rated over here yet, actually, but I'd imagine it'll fall into the 15 category. But I think
so,
yeah, should be fun. Eddie Izzard, Kate Dickie, James Cosmo, some fairly heavy hitters there from Scotland. So, definitely one to keep an eye out for. So,
Sweet.
looking forward to that. No idea when it's actually coming out here. Like I said, it did get screened at the. It did get screened at the Edinburgh Film Festival this year, but I don't know when it's slated to come out here. So,
well, as I say, It says it's been picked up by Amazon from what I can reading here, so whether it'll go directly to streaming or might get a wee cinema run first, I just don't know.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed it gets released in the cinema, you know. I mean,
I'm sure it might here, being a set in Scotland. You'd like to think it would get some sort of release.
Yeah, especially after, you know, how much fun Anna and Apocalypse was.
Yep, I thought you were going to say Sony.
Oh, Sony's a good one as well, though, man. I mean, that's very unknown, though, that film, really.
It is. Remains unknown. Yeah, very weird.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it in Blu-ray, CEX, just immediately bought it. I was like, what the fuck?
Shit, yeah, I can't believe it was actually on Blu-ray. That's wild.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So, is there anything else that I've snapped across? I mean, there's other stuff, but we could be here all day.
Yeah, we could be.
For things that people might never get the chance to see.
Yeah, exactly.
There's one. What was this one? I don't know if it's technically a horror film, but a film called Synchronic. It's just the description intrigues me.
Right. What is it like? Give me the description. Hit me up.
Follows two New Orleans paramedics whose lives are ripped apart after encountering a series of horrific deaths linked to a designer drug with bizarre otherworldly effects.
Right.
It's been described as a daring, go-for-broke science fiction original.
Man, sounds good.
Yeah. So there we go. Apparently it's going to be released in the USA theatrically at some point in 2020. So whether we'll get it, I don't know.
Synchronic, did you say?
Yep.
Man, yeah, I'm intrigued. I want to check that out. Sounds fun.
Yeah, totally. It's if I was skipping through Netflix and saw that description, it'd be straight on.
Yeah, totally. Sometimes. Cool. Excellent. Well, I mean, we've certainly got lots to look forward to in 2020.
Yep.
If, you know, half of that's any good, then we'll be quite happy, I guess.
Be laughing.
And yeah, you know, obviously we've probably missed shitloads out. I didn't include any of the sort of the usual franchises that we see coming up. You know, I'm sure there's going to be another Annabelle film. There's going to be another Conjuring film. There's going to be stuff like that.
There is another Conjuring film coming. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But if there's anything glaring we have missed out on, then hit us up and let us know.
Yep. You can find us on Facebook certainly, which is the only thing I check. Because certainly no fucker emails us.
Yeah, no.
Is email just a dead thing? Should I just give out your phone number?
The company you buy wine from emails us quite a lot.
It does. I had to set up a new account to get the free offer. And so the only emails we get are from a wine company. Trying to tempt me into buying things that I don't need.
It's always quite exciting when an email comes through and you're like, oh, someone's got in touch. Oh, no, they've not. It's just the guy from the wine company.
Yeah, no, I open up, you know, maybe once a week, and that's all I expect to see is one company. But if you want to break that, if you want to break Naked Wine's stranglehold in our email inbox,
it's horrormeltdownpod at gmail.com.
Horrormeltdownpod@gmail.com. Hit us up with some suggestions.
Yeah, hit us up with some suggestions.
Don't be scared. All we can say is no.
Yeah, big thanks to Paul for his recommendation of Bliss. We will be definitely covering that at some point. In fact, yeah, I'm probably just going to buy the Blu-ray just now, so it arrives, and then we can just cover it when it arrives.
Sweet, that sounds good.
Happy days.
You can talk me through that when we get there.
Yep. Lovely. Well, I think that's. I think we both need to go and rest up a little bit more. We're only 2 days into the new year.
Maybe a quick look at these cinema release schedules and see what we can be arsed covering.
Yeah.
So once again, I'll say Happy New Year to friend of the podcast, Billy.
Happy New Year to all the friends of the podcast.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Sounds like a bit of a fuck you if you're just specifically saying not Happy New Year to everyone else.
Well, it depends. I mean, you don't know. Maybe 75% of our listenership could be called Billy.
That would be great.
And that would be like, I've thanked a lot, well, not a lot of people, but 75% of the 12 people or whatever. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, whatever.
Right. All right, well, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll be back shortly with the next episode in the chain.
Yes, which will, I think I'm going to put this out straight away. So the next episode in the chain, which we discussed when it was going to come out at the end of that episode's recording, will be The Thing, I believe.
Right, okay, nice. Okay, so the thing will be next up. Happy
Yeah,
days.
it's definitely going to be next up. I can promise you that. Well, I'm not going to promise
After
it.
this.
Yeah, I'm almost 93% sure that's what it's going to be.
Excellent. All right, well, join us then for the thing, guys. All right.
Okay.
Happy New Year, everyone.
The
See you
thing?
later.
Is it the thing? Okay. Something's coming up next, and
Classic professionalism from the Horror Meltdown lads.
it will be as informative as this. I'll guarantee you that.
Right, okay. Right, I'll see you later. Okay, cheers.
Good night,
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.